الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي ألف بالإسلام بين قلوب المؤمنين وأوجب الاتحاد وحرم التفرق في كتابه المبين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله هدى من يشاء إلى صراط المستقيم، وأشهد أن سيدنا محمد رسول الله خير داع إلى طريق القويم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه الذين تحببت نفوسهم وتحبت قلوبهم فكانوا سادة المنصورين. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي أولا بتقوى الله تعالى وطاعته. That is, all praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united, and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills. And I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. Today we are discussing, and this week we are discussing Al-Wahhab, the giver of gifts, the attribute of Allah, the giver of gifts. And this idea of Allah being the giver of gifts, we could go on and talk about so many different things of gifts that Allah has given us. And so there's a verse that is often repeated, one of the 40 Rabbanas. It says, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. O Allah, O Lord, give us good in this life. Give me good in this life and good in the next. So in this asking of my Creator, asking of my Lord, I am saying, please, O Lord, give me good in this life. Give me good things in this life. Give me health. Give me a nice family. Give me the things that are going to make me successful in this life. And then not just to only be so concerned with this life, just only so concerned with my house, with my home, with my health, with my family, with my job, but give me good in the next life. Grant me paradise. So as we think about this, we want to jump into this idea of Allah being Al-Wahhab, the giver of gifts. And what better gift can be given to us, to the believing Muslim, to the believing person? What better gift can be given than paradise? What better gift can be given but the hope for success? This is what Al-Wahhab gives us. This is what our Creator, our Allah, our giver of gifts, the giver of gifts, gives us. So in this first portion of this idea of give me good in this life, oh Lord, give me good in this life, what are some of the things that maybe we're asking for? We're asking for nice children that grow up to be healthy and self-sufficient. We ask for nice homes, nice cars, nice job, nice clothes. You know, in the military, we seem to wear the same thing, but maybe we ask for one of those, you know, the AGSU. Maybe we ask for a nice uniform, some more ribbons, some more rank, things that are going to give us more financial independence, more responsibility, more respect. All these are gifts from our Creator. everything. So that those are external gifts. Those are things that may come from the environment. But we may ask for a gift. Maybe we have the gift of communication. Maybe some have the vocals to sing. Some can write. Some are actors. Some are dancers. Some do hair. All these things are your gifts. Allah is Al-Wahhab. He gave you this gift. And maybe this gift is something that allows you to provide for your family, that allows you to provide for yourself. Maybe you are a STEM wizard. Maybe you're good at coding. Maybe you're good at something, and it's a gift that you have, but it was given to you by your creator, by Al-Wahhab. So as we ask and we think about Allah being the giver of gifts, we have to think about these on not just this internal side now. There's a gift of life. And not just this gift of life, there's this gift of the things that sustain life. There's the proper balance between the different gases in the air that allows you to breathe. There's the ground that you can drop a seed in that has the right amount of nutrients, or you have the ability to get additional nutrients to add to that ground, and it produces something that feeds you. There's the ability to raise animals, or for someone to raise animals and them to be provided for you to eat so you can get sustenance. There's the intellect that allows you to have maybe non-meat options of the same food that you enjoy. There's the intellect that was given to where scientists and doctors and these different people can create things that assist your physical body. There's others that are able to create vehicles for your transportation, the idea to make homes, to make air conditioning, to make lights. All these things come from gifts from Al-Wahhab. And it's so many that we could go on and think about all the types of gifts that were given by our Creator, by Allah. But once we acknowledge them, what do we have to do next? So we're thinking about the gifts of just in this planet that we're on, this same planet that's spinning at so many hundreds or thousands of miles per hour, whatever the speed is, very fast. And the gift that we haven't flown off of it. The gift that this same planet is spinning fast and has another giant rock, a moon, circling around it that doesn't make contact into it. This gift, this other gift of where this same rock, this same planet we're on with the rock going around it, is spinning around a giant fireball. And also around this fireball are other planets that are spinning. And they're in a distance that they don't create some kind of discord. They don't run into each other. And we're just close enough to the sun and just far away from the sun that we don't freeze or we don't burn up. Now, we may have snow. We may have some hot days. But it's not really doing that kind of damage to us. We have to think about the gifts from Al-Wahhab, the giver of gifts. What are these gifts? And there's so much more that we haven't even explored to even understand that. And that's just on the external level. We haven't thought about or talked about what's inside the body. That skin regenerates, that your blood carries nutrients, what oxygen does, how the body is able to break those things down, how it breaks down food. These are gifts. So we ask Allah, oh Lord, Rabbana atina fi dunya. Oh Allah, give me good in this life. Give me good in this life. Give me a good gift. Now, just because I'm asking for good, I'm asking for a gift, doesn't mean that I can neglect what I already have. I can't just get so focused on what I want to attain that I don't recognize the gifts that have already been given to me. So what do I do? What do I do? How do I show this respect? Maybe I make salat. Maybe I fast. Maybe I make hajj. Maybe I give in charity. Maybe I do the things that my creator requested. And I do that, and I appreciate what I have. I appreciate what's been given to me. And I show my appreciation. I show my gratitude. I do that, but I still say, Rabbana atina fid dunya. That's the term. So I still want good in this life. I'm still asking for good in this life. Maybe it's just maintaining the good that I have. Maybe it's just maintaining what I have. So, dear believers, as we ask for these gifts, as we think about Allah as the giver of gifts, Al-Wahhab, let's not just look for the things that we are anticipating or hoping for. Let's also take time to think about what has already been provided for us. Because He's Al-Wahhab. These gifts have been given before us, and they'll continue to be given to those that will come after us. They will experience those as well. أقول قولي هذا لي ولكم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Dear believers, we talked about give us good in this life. Now let's think about give us good in the next. This forward thinking, this long-term planning, this idea of requesting something in advance. Oh, Allah, give us good in this life, good in the next. So what's in the next life? I'm looking to go to paradise, inshallah. And so I'm asking Allah, I'm asking Al-Wahhab to give me that. And so I can ask and I can request it, but that means absolutely nothing if I do not take the steps, if I do not do the things necessary to achieve it or to receive it. I can ask all day. I can beg, I can plead, I can do all these things, but unless I make the necessary decisions, unless I take the necessary steps, the necessary actions needed, it won't happen for me. It won't work out the way that I'm expecting or the way that I'm wanting. So when I ask Allah, oh Allah, give me good in this life and good in the next, there is some responsibility that has to happen. There's some actions that I have to take. There's some things that I must do in order for these things to happen. Otherwise, I'm just talking. I'm just asking. It's a pipe dream. Give me good in the next, but I'm gonna stop praying. Oh Allah, give me good in the next life, but I'm not going to give charity. Oh Allah, give me good in the next life, but I'm not going to make intention for Hajj. I'm not going to fast during the month of Ramadan. That's not going to work. So there's this idea, there's this notion that there's some action that must be taken. There's something that must go on for me to get that good in the next life. But I'm asking for it. I'm asking for it while in the process of working towards it. So it's not this passive thing where I say, hey, let me borrow $1. And this person's going to give me $1. Not that I have to do some kind of work to get it. They may just be a kind person and give it to me. Allah is kind, yes. And He's the giver of gifts, yes. So that's why when we talk about, oh Allah, give me good in this life and good in the next, we have to do some work. We have to take some action. We have to look forward. We have to prepare ourselves. We have to carry ourselves in a way that we are actively seeking. We are actively seeking what we're asking for, not just this passive thing, not just this notion or this idea that I'm going to ask Allah to give me good in the next life, and it's just going to happen with no work. with no perseverance, with no facing the trials that I'm asked to face, or facing the things that come about. Dear believers, we have to really focus on what this is saying. When we say, oh Lord, oh Allah, oh Creator, give me good in this life, good in the next. This idea for good in this life is something that's happening at the moment. You know, so this is one of those things where, yes, I may get that good that I'm asking for in this life, but whether I get what exactly I'm asking for, I still have to be grateful for what I've been given. I still have to be grateful for what I have. But this idea of asking for give me good in the next life means that I have to actively be striving to get that. So how I respond to getting or not getting what it is I'm asking for in this life, how I respond to that, how I carry on, how I still carry myself as a good Muslim is going to determine, it's going to have influence on how that next life turns out. So dear believers, still ask Allah for good in this life and good in the next, over and over and over again. But while you ask, while you seek these things, make sure that you are actively carrying on in your life in the way that is pleasing to your Creator, pleasing to Al-Wahhab. So He will give you those gifts. So He will give you the gift of good in the next life. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.